Guys, Bob here from Point and Shoot Films, and this is going to be the first video I do. Basically, like a million other people on YouTube are doing. I'm basically just going to show off my collection of movies, and I've got today. My collection is nowhere near as big as some people's, but I figured I'd start out today. Would be a good day with what I picked up while I was out, movie hunting. Because today I hit the 700th movie in my collection, and that's a span of across all the different media I have, VHS, Blu-rays, CEDs, HD DVDs, everything that I have, UMDs, everything. Today was the 700th, so I just want to show off a little bit of what I got today. And then going forward, I'm hoping I can do this a little bit more often. And part of this, what I'm hoping for, and this would be cool, is if people actually see this video. If you want to tape trade, if you want, not necessarily tape, but disc trade. If you want to trade with me, you want to buy something, we can work something out there. I'm always looking for cool stuff, rare stuff, kitschy stuff. I'm not paying top dollar necessarily, because whatever the case may be, but definitely we could work something out. So let me just show you what I picked up today. A couple of these are really common. At least one or two are not common at all. So at any rate, so let's just start it off. So here in New England we have Bull Moose Music, which is a music discount store. Discount bookstore rather. They've got a ton of stuff, and they just recently finally after it being a defunct media for years, lowered the cost of their HD DVDs from anywhere from $5 to $25. Some of them, they lowered every HD DVD they had down to $1.97. So that's pretty cool. So I've been picking those up pretty regularly. I've been buying at least one or two a week, just because they're so cheap. I'm trying to build up the collection. I do want to collect every HD DVD. I feel like it's pretty possible. I mean, I'm like a quarter of the way there. There's only 400 or so titles, and I think I have just under 100 right now. You can actually see a good stack of them back there in the corner. The racks back there, the big one is all Blu-rays, and the smaller one is all HD DVDs. In the other room is where we keep all the VHS and DVDs, because they take up a lot more room. I have a lot more DVDs than anything else, and VHS too. Of course, they're a lot bigger anyway, so they take up more room. But at any rate, so today what I picked up on HD DVD at Bull Moose Music was the Bourne Trilogy. Now I know that there is a fourth movie, but for the sake of for the video here, the trilogy, because these are the three that are also available on HD DVD, and these are the three that have Matt Damon. So I thought this was pretty cool that I was able to get these movies and get all three of them. The first one here, Bourne Identity, this one's actually still shrink wrapped and everything. It's never even been played. So for $1.97, this was a good buy. $6 for the three of them. I really like these movies. I especially really like the first one because it was one of those ones where I wasn't even sure that Matt Damon was going to be able to pull off that kind of a role. And I remember being like, I don't know, and then really watching it, watching it and really liking it. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, for $6, I thought that was a good buy. I wish that they were all a set together, and I think that they actually did release it that way on HD DVD. I'm not sure, but like I just picked up recently the Mission Impossible box set, and it was $1.97 for the first three movies, because that's how they package them. And Bull Moose just does it like a general merchandise, so it doesn't matter if it's one movie or a set of 5 movies. Like back there, if you see on the top shelf of the Blu-ray rack, actually, because it's so big, that little brown box, that's the Harry Potter HD DVD set. And I'm not a huge fan of that movie, honestly, but I did buy it for $1.97 for the first 5 years. That was a $150 set when it came out originally, so I thought that was like a steal. Everything in it is complete. All the movies are there. All the little knickknacks and everything that came with it are there. I actually think, just for the sake of how cool it is, I might do an unboxing video, so to speak, with that. At some point in the future here, but at any rate, yeah, so they do $1.97 for all of that stuff, so I thought that was really neat. The other thing that I picked up at Bull Moose, disc-wise, was Terminator II. And I'll tell you, this is not exactly a new release or anything like that, but the reason that I bought this is because Terminator 2 is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I decided recently that I'm going to collect it on every media that it was released on. So I actually, at one point, it had a DVD. I don't know what happened to the DVD, so I replaced it with this one. And this is the extreme version, so it has a second disc with a ton of extra features, including some DVD-ROM features. So that was pretty neat. This is only $2.97. It was used, but I thought that was a really good buy. I do have it, or I had it on Blu-ray, but I had the original Lionsgate release, and it was not a very good copy of the Blu-ray. It wasn't even, it was full 1080, but it wasn't a very good. It was washed out. It was a really bad kind of print, and Lionsgate knew that. So a year or so ago, they re-released it with the Skynet edition, and I actually just picked that up online for like $6. I would love to have the version of Terminator 2 that comes in the giant head of the Terminator, but it's like still, even at this point, it's like a $200 6-disc Blu-ray set, and that's just not in the budget anytime soon. But so I have the movie on VHS. I now have it on DVD. I just reordered that Blu-ray, and I have the French import of the HD DVD. I actually don't think it was released in the US on HD DVD, but the only media format that I'm missing right now is Laserdisc, and I do plan on picking it up on Laserdisc. I don't have a Laserdisc player yet. I actually was looking at that today, and they're fairly inexpensive. They're under $50 to get a good working one, so that I can start collecting those as well. But I definitely, even without having the player, I do want the Laserdisc. The artwork on the Laserdisc is gorgeous, so I'll be picking that up at some point. But moving on real quick, so those are the discs that I picked up at Bull Moose. I did pick up a handful of VHS tapes, including like one of my all-time favorite movies, Johnny Dangerously. I actually didn't own this movie at all, which is weird. I thought I had it on DVD, but when I was checking my collection, I didn't. And this movie isn't even available on anything other than DVD or VHS, possibly Laserdisc, but it's not on HD DVD, and it's not on Blu-ray, which is unfortunate because this really deserves a Blu-ray release. It would look great remastered. Michael Keaton's not exactly doing anything that can't stop him from doing a commentary track, I don't suppose. So, this movie is fantastic. If you've never seen this, it's one of the funniest movies ever. It's got some of the best one-liners. It's a real spoof kind of movie. Not like a scary movie kind of spoof where it's spoofing other movies. It's just a parody of, gangster movies and that kind of stuff. And Michael Keaton, it's probably his best comedy role. Second only probably to his role in Batman, which is, not a comedy obviously, but that movie's great. So I did pick up that one. I picked up a couple of generic movies, just that I didn't have. But the thing about Bull Moose Music is that all their VHS movies are 30 cents. So even though I didn't have these on DVD or anything, I figured I'd pick them up on VHS for 30 cents. And speaking of Michael Keaton, Night Shift, which is a Ron Howard movie. It's an early Ron Howard movie. I actually think that this is Michael Keaton's first movie, or one of his first movies. So, I had to pick this up. I've never actually seen this all the way through, but I did see if it was on TV. And of course, this is an R-rated comedy, so it's not really worth watching on TV anyway. So I picked this up for 30 cents, just so I could give this a once over. Basically, it is supposed to be really good, so figured I couldn't go wrong with that. I did also too. I picked up a couple of other generic movies. I did get Cuffs with Christian Slater, which is a really funny movie. I do wish it was more R-rated, although the nice thing about this was only a few years after the PG-13 rating had come out, so it's a little raunchier than PG-13 movies are now, especially for like an action comedy. But I don't know, I originally thought it was going to be more. And Ghost, which is, again, it's one of my all-time favorite movies, because who doesn't love Patrick Swayze? I mean, this movie is fantastic. I've had it on DVD and Blu-ray at points in time, and, you get to the point where, I just kind of sold some stuff off when I wasn't, when I was in need of cash or whatever the case may be, back in the day, although now selling off your collection isn't worth anything because nobody's really paying for DVDs or Blu-rays. So it was nice to to get this so that I could at least have it to watch for now for like 30 cents. The DVDs, it's not very expensive. It's probably under $5, and the Blu-ray isn't even that expensive either. But I did happen to notice this, and what's kind of cool about this one. This is the McDonald's edition, so it wasn't even something you could buy in the store. I don't think it's any different at all. It just happens to be the one. Back in the day, I mean, McDonald's was doing. This is a Paramount movie, and there was a lot of sponsorship going on back in the mid '90s, early to mid '90s when this movie came out. Where you could actually order this right from McDonald's directly, which was kind of cool. I know Wayne's World was another one that you could get that way. I actually think there were some. I think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, maybe. I mean, there was a handful of movies. I actually want to look that up and see what other movies you can get. But I thought that was cool. That this was the McDonald's edition, so to speak. It's not in any way different. It's just that on the box there, and then the label on the front is a little different. But that's it. The other movies that I picked up today. Well, actually, this movie I did pick this up at Bull Moose, and I have no idea what this movie is. It's called Tracks, and the reason I picked this up for the 30 cents, even though I knew nothing about it, I don't even know who these actors are in the movie, is that it has the best synopsis ever. An ex mercenary, a mercenary ex cop who has the dream of opening a cookie store, a cookie bakery, but he has no idea how to bake. It says he dreams of starting his own cookie business, but faces two problems. He can't raise the money, and he's the world's worst cookie baker. I thought that was the most ridiculous thing I've heard in a long time for a synopsis of a film. And this is R-rated, so I was like, it sounds like a Disney movie gone wrong with that kind of a plot. But, for an R-rated movie, I figured, hell, it would be worth it. It stars Shadow Stevens. I don't know who that is. If you do, more power to you, I guess. Maybe you know a little bit more about obscure movies than I do, but I don't know who that guy is. But I figured for 30 cents, it's worth a shot. The other place I went today was I was at the Salvation Army. And I did pick up a couple VHS copies there of movies there because they were doing a half-off sale. So I picked up a couple of movies that were half-off, so they ended up being about 65 cents a piece. But I did pick up, this is Oliver Stone's Talk Radio. I have never seen this movie. I have heard of this movie. It's an Oliver Stone movie, so, at some point in time I would have run across that. I actually don't know a lot about it. I just know, basically, that it's about a radio show, talk show host. I'd seen this. I know that it's got Alec Baldwin in it, so you can't really go wrong with Alec Baldwin, I suppose, or maybe you can. I don't know. Back in this point in time, you definitely couldn't go wrong with Alec Baldwin. So we'll give this a shot at some point, and I'll let you know. The other thing, and before I even talk about this movie, I do have a real love for kids movies. So the next two movies that I picked up, these are both kids movies, although one of them's not really a movie so much, but just a video. But this is The Spooktacular New Adventures of Casper. And you kind of can't see it in the light there too much. But the reason that I picked this up, honestly, is just mostly because of the case. I've never really seen the Casper cartoons. I do like the Casper movie. I thought that was pretty cool. Who's in that? Bill Pullman or Bill Paxton? Who knows? They get him confused. And Christina Ricci. So that movie I liked. And then Devon Sawa as Casper, right? But this had a really cool box art. It's actually kind of clear, so you can see when I hold it up like that. You can actually see through it, the Casper there, and it's like this opaque gray blue kind of thing. I thought that was neat. So for 60 cents, I figured it's cool. Add to the the clamshell, so to speak, collection of kids movies that we've got in the other room, and that'd be pretty cool. So and then the last movie I picked up, and I think that this might have been one of my favorite finds of the day. We already owned the second one, but I didn't own the first one, and I know that these are available on DVD, and they may even be on Blu-ray, I'm not sure, but that's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and I loved this movie. I loved it when I was a kid. I love it now. I think that the effects in this movie still hold up, and the miniatures that they did, and then whatever the opposite of the miniature would be when they put the actors next to the giant items, and a lot of those things were not green screen. They actually built full scale or 10 times scale replicas of a lot of things, and they did that. So that was really neat. I really like this movie. Rick Moranis retired from movies a handful of years ago, so he doesn't really do anything anymore. I always really liked him. I liked the Honey, I Shrunk the Kid, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid movies. I didn't like, or I don't even know if I even saw any of the other movies that came after that, and I don't really care about those. But the cool thing about this one, and the reason that I picked it up, especially because it was so cheap, is this movie is still factory sealed. It even has the $22.99 VHS cost on there, which I don't even think you could buy. I don't even think if there was a Blu-ray of this, I don't even think it would cost $22.99. So that's cool. It's still got the Walt Disney seal on the bottom. This is still the factory seal, and on this version, they didn't. I don't believe it was in the clamshell version, because there is a version of this that was shipped in a Disney clamshell. But this one has the Roger Rabbit tummy trouble short on it, and which I thought was pretty cool. So I honestly don't know if I'll even open this. Not that I think it's going to be worth a ton of money. I do have the clamshell version of this somewhere, and like I said, we have the second one in this, and I just wanted to have them both. So that was worth the 60 cents that I paid for it at the Salvation Army Day. So that was kind of cool. But anyway, guys, those are the movies that I picked up today. Anyway, if so if you saw anything you like, if you want to trade something, definitely want to trade. If you've found anything cool lately, let me know what you found, where you've been looking. Obviously the normal stuff, Salvation Armies, Goodwills, all the flea markets and stuff. I always hit up those. But if you're finding any cheap movies at any good national stores, it'd be cool. Just definitely let me know, and I'll look into it and stuff. If you're looking for anything, definitely hit me up with that too. I'm always on the prowl to help out other collectors and stuff like that. And if you're looking for anything special, yeah, definitely just let me know. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Rate and subscribe, all that normal YouTube shit, and have a good night.